You're watching the Verizon Wrap-Up Show with Otis Livingston.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Verizon Wrap-Up Show. A look back at all the day's action from the men's NCAA Tournament. I'm Otis Livingston, and let's get right to the madness. Down in the East region, number 4 seed Kentucky taking on 13 seed Princeton out of the Ivy League. And we pick it up late. Princeton down 2. That's when Dan Maveritis with a step-back jumper in the lane ties it at 57 with 37 seconds left. Same score, time running out. Kentucky freshman Brandon Knight picks a great time to get his first 2 points of the game. The layup goes with 2 seconds left, and Kentucky survives 59-57. Here's Princeton head coach Sidney Johnson after the tough season-ending loss.
I was very excited, and I wanted to demand from my players that we live up to that.
And you don't think this means a lot. Kentucky to take on the winner of the West Virginia-Clemson matchup. Clemson played one of the first 4 end games, came out with energy early. Jeray Grant, the jam inside. Tigers led by 8. But perhaps they ran out of steam in the second half. Dalton Pepper with the steal, and he goes in for the jam. 78-71 Mountaineers, and West Virginia cruises from there. 84-76 the final. And coming up after this short break, St. John's puts on their dancing shoes for the first time since 2002. A tough test right out of the gate against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Stay tuned.
The Verizon Wrap-Up Show, sponsored by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America.
The Motorola Zoom tablet, with the velocity of a 1 GHz dual-core processor, 3D graphics engine, gyroscope, and a widescreen HD display. Grab it, and it grabs you. Only at Verizon.
And welcome back to the Verizon Wrap-Up Show. Time to take a look at the night session, beginning with St. John's in the Mile High City to take on perennial power Gonzaga. And the tournament-tested Bulldogs were sharp from the get-go. Stephen Gray with the steal and the lay-in, part of a 12-0 run, 43-32 Zags at the half. Second half now, the Johnnies try to make a run. Dwayne Poley Jr. making senior proud, finishes with authority. That makes it a 10-point game. But every time the Red Storm got any momentum, Gonzaga had an answer. Stephen Gray, the perfect pass of Dimitri Goodson. Gonzaga goes up 17. The Red Storm's resurgent season comes to a disappointing end. Gonzaga wins it 86-71. And waiting for the Zags, arguably the most used name in this NCAA tournament, Jimmer Fredette and BYU. Fredette, first in the nation in scoring at just under 28 points, and you can see why. 10 of 25 from the field for 32 points, more than enough, as BYU beats Wofford 74-66. Staying in the Southeast, number 1 seed Pittsburgh blows out UNC Asheville. Last year's runner-up, Butler defeats Old Dominion on a buzzer beater. Kansas State knocks out Utah State, and Wisconsin beats Belmont 72-58. UCLA defeats Michigan State 78-76, and its number 2 seed Florida by 28 over UC Santa Barbara. In the Southwest, a pair of upsets, Richmond over Vanderbilt, and Morehead State shocks Louisville 62-61. In the West region, UConn all over Bucknell 81-52. Cincinnati defeats Missouri. Number 2 seed San Diego State moves into the next round, and Temple wins a thriller over Penn State 66-64. And don't forget, another day of exciting NCAA basketball here on CBS tomorrow. Coverage gets underway at 12 o'clock, and then it's Texas and Oakland, followed by Arizona and Memphis. Then the night session begins at 7 o'clock. North Carolina takes on Long Island University, followed by Washington and Georgia. But for now, I'm Otis Livingston saying so long from the Verizon Wrap-Up Show. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night.